Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Uganda indeed decides 2026, and the process still goes on. While presidential candidates are having their campaign trails today, as they started a month ago up until today, members of parliament are getting nominated today. Those who are aspiring to be members of parliament representing different constituencies in Uganda are getting nominated today. And like before we went for the break, I did mention that the deputy spokesperson at the Electoral Commission. Good morning, Paul.
Oh, what an introduction to the show, but good morning, Julie, and good morning to our viewers who are out there and who are following Matters Electoral.
Yes.
Because really this is the season.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So one of the rules that the Electoral Commission has issued out is do not monetize the campaigns. And this has been directly stated by Justice Simon Byabakama. We've seen him state it. And indeed, even different parties, party leaders are encouraging no monetization of campaigns. However, a viewer comes through and says, this very issue that you're addressing is actually encouraged by the Electoral Commission. What would you tell this viewer?
I really, we do not, because we do not, first of all, organize campaigns. We do not, we are not political. Because if you say that money is being used for campaigns, the Electoral Commission definitely doesn't have a candidate. We don't have candidates.
Right.
So there is no way you can say that the Electoral Commission is encouraging this. But there is a concern about the use of money in elections and how it influences conduct, candidates' conduct, and even the voters themselves. Okay. So, and it is a concern that is across actually many, even not just Uganda, but a global concern that there is a lot of use of money to influence voting patterns and behavior.
Right.
And we also see that campaign financing is becoming very expensive. It's a big topic amongst civil society, legislators themselves, election managers like Electoral Commission, that the use of money in elections is going just higher and higher.
Right.
And the stakeholders also know the voters. For example, you mentioned that you, at one time during an engagement, you mentioned it and you were heckled. And when you go to some places, and we know because we've seen reports, we follow the news, we follow the issues on the ground, situations where candidates themselves tell us that before you speak, people tell you their throats are dry, first buy them a drink. I think all those are forms of monetizing the elections and the campaigns for that matter. The Electoral Commission, on our part, we've supported advocacy for legal reform to regulate the use of money in elections. Otherwise, to do a campaign, you need money. So we need to appreciate the value of money in elections, in an election campaign. You will need to develop a campaign program which needs to be funded. You will need to have agents who will need to move, and you need logistics for that. You need to do campaign posters. You need to buy airtime on a media house, and that is money. So we're talking about regulation, not saying that there should be no money in the in an electoral campaign.
Right.
Because that would be in denial, like living in denial. So the issue is that Electoral Commission has supported that advocacy for reform to regulate campaign financing and not to do away with money completely in election, because it is part of what you need as an aspirant. You need to to have money to run your campaign.
Right.
So those excesses are of concern. If someone says, I need 500 million to do campaigning, you say, oh my God, what's going to happen with that? Because the nomination fee for a member of parliament is 3 million. That's what the Electoral Commission is asking from you. And so you can't say the Electoral Commission has promoted. You said you can't say I need 500 million because the Electoral Commission has asked for that. No, it is something else.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Now, yesterday, Justice Simon Byabakama shocked Ugandans when he mentioned the dates for electing members of parliament and the presidential...
They were expecting the dates. Maybe some shock, yes, but please,
yes,
yeah.
Given that there were changes even with the nomination of presidential candidates before, and a lot was being said. So, of course, when he came out and mentioned the fact that voting will be on the 15th of January, changed from, must have been 12th of January before, and then, of course, the campaign stopping at 13th January, and actual voting will be on the 15th. What caused or what made reason for the change?
I think our viewers need to know that we did not change a polling date. What happened yesterday was declaring the polling date.
Okay.
Julie, according to the laws of Uganda, and I could probably use a minute to explain this, the term of office of this government ends on the 12th of May next year. And the law, electoral laws of Uganda say that elections must be held within the first 30 days of the last 121 days of the term of office. So the first 30 days of the last 121 days of the term of office. The term ends on 12th May. So when you come back and count 121 days, you come back to the 12th of January. And the first 30 days of the last 120 days is the period we indicated on the roadmap, 12th of January and the 9th of February. So all the elections we are going to conduct, our dear Ugandans, are going to be held within that period. Not earlier than the 12th of January and not later than the 9th of January. So,
February, you mean?
And the 9th of February, sorry. Yeah. So what we are going to see over the next few days is now appointment of polling dates. We have appointed the polling date for presidential, which is 15th, because after the declaration announcing the nomination, we didn't issue a polling date. We announced a campaign period which ends on the 12th of January, which now I think I've given context. So we are going to see appointment of dates for local government councils, because we've not done that, the district chairpersons. When is their polling date? We are going to announce that. The municipality chairpersons, the sub-county chairpersons and councillors, LC3, we've not announced that. It is yet to be announced, but it will be not later than the 9th of February, because all our elections have to be held within the first 30 days of the last 121 days. What we are also going to announce in a few weeks' time, or even a couple of days, are the dates for the delegates' conferences for election of the workers' MP, because they will not be on the 15th with the rest of us, given that they are by electoral college. It's the delegates' conference that elects the workers, the youth, older persons, persons with disability. Also the date for the Defense Council to sit and elect the 10 MPs for the UPDF. So I think what happened yesterday is not a change of a date, but rather it's an appointment of a date. And I think that's what the chairperson was emphasizing, that we issued a campaign period which ends on the 12th as per the roadmap. If you go back to the roadmap, that's the date which is there. But now, having appointed the polling date, and given that campaigns end 48 hours before polling, now the campaign period extends to the 13th of January. So the presidential candidates have an extra day.
Right.
So our viewers and dear listeners on the other platforms, we do not, we have not gone out of the period which is given to us by law. That's the first 30 days of the last 121 days. There's some mathematics there, but it's easy for us to understand.
Right.
So more polling dates are going to be announced and confirmed and gazetted. What we had and what we have been moving with is the period. Now we are going into specific dates. And that is now the one for presidential is done. Coming up next is the district and city chairpersons and councillors, municipality chairpersons and councillors, sub-county chairpersons and councillors, and then special interest groups. We'll have about 7, 8 polling dates that are going to be announced in due course. So the roadmap is on course, and the commission is within its powers to appoint a date within that period. It's in accordance with the law. Yeah, sure.
I hope that detailed background has been understood indeed. For your information, before you complain about misinformation or change of dates as to why the EC is doing it, I think that background has helped a lot for you to understand the why and how the law is guiding this whole process. Now, let's look at today's exercise. Let's start off with the aspirants who will be now candidates, who are soon becoming candidates. When are they expected to start their campaigns officially?
Today we will have the nominations, like you mentioned, for members of parliament, and that includes directly elected members of parliament. Those are the ones who represent constituencies, like, you know, Kampala Central, or much in the east or much in the west, direct representing a constituency, and then the district woman member of parliament. We're starting the nomination this morning at 9 o'clock, and then it will be for a period of 2 days, ending tomorrow, and thereafter we'll have the campaign starting on the 10th of November this year. We'll have the campaign starting on the 10th of November, and they will go all the way up to the 13th of January. Then the polling day will be the 15th of January, because the members of parliament are elected on the same day of the president. So their campaign period ends on the 13th of January. So what we're having over from 10th of November up to the 13th of January are the campaigns for parliamentary candidates, and that includes the district woman member of parliament and the constituency candidate. All right. Yeah.
Edema Amidu from Yumbe district comes through and says, we applaud the Electoral Commission for the flexibility of allowing nominations of parliamentary candidates at district and city levels. This allows the voters to accompany our candidates to nomination centers without incurring expenses for lodging, feeding, expensive transportation too far, as I think you meant to say so far, as we used to go to Kampala with a lot of risks. This time, the Electoral Commission has reduced the risks to a very minimal range. Also, it has helped the candidates from transporting expensively the nominators, avoiding avoiding any kinds of disagreements amongst the voters who can go or who cannot go. Now, talk about the chronicles of what takes place during nominations, and indeed chronicles of one's work, because indeed this is actually an issue of people who get into conflict as to who should go and who should not go to escort their candidate for nomination. But Edema's point reminds me of today's exercise. Who will be, or how many people will be allowed to the point of nominating this candidate, and how many will be left out to wait from the outskirts?
Actually, we have put a limit to the number of persons who can accompany an aspirant to the nomination venue. And in our guidelines which we issued, we say that a person coming to a nomination center is allowed to come with only 2 vehicles, and it's allowed actually 2 vehicles, and those vehicles are even described that should carry not more than 10 supporters each, inclusive of the candidate and the drivers. So basically what that means is that at the venue we have so many aspirants coming to the same venue. We don't want processions coming to our nomination venue. We've advised aspirants to come with only 2 vehicles accompanying them. Come with only 2 vehicles, which have to be issued with a police sticker. The DPCs in the areas have cleared the aspirants who have requested for that facility. And preferably this should be like a minibus, if you can do that, but not more than 10 persons. In other words, your entire entourage is 20 persons. Candidate, aspirant, proposer and seconder, spouse, children if you're coming with the family, the drivers, everyone who is accompanying you at that moment, you should not exceed 20 persons. But we've said and guided that a person who has been nominated as a candidate can then afterwards proceed and meet their supporters at a venue that has been agreed and organized, and a venue that meets standards for a public assembly. And they can meet them there and launch their manifestos, and other than bringing all those people to the nomination venue. But that is not the start of the campaigns. That is for purposes of meeting them, greeting them, launching a manifesto. For example, if you want to launch your manifesto there and then you wait up to the 10th when you will start moving place to place within the constituency or the district, in the case of a woman member of parliament.
Right.
So access is restricted to that number, but also you can do afterwards meet, do a press conference, do things like that.
Right.
And then the campaigns will start on the 10th.
Right. Speaking of the process, just take us through how EC has prepared, what the process looks like from the time the candidate gets to the venue to be nominated. What does the process look like, or what does the process look like even before the candidate gets to the venue? What does he have to have before
they need to prepare so that they present themselves and meet the requirements for nominations. Right. Otherwise, if you do not meet those requirements, then there would be a problem. Your bid for nomination will not be successful then.
Before you continue, take us through the requirements as well.
So we issued guidelines way back. We issued this roadmap 2.5 years ago. So persons who are participating in this election must have really prepared themselves. The requirements for nomination as a member of parliament, you must be 18 years and above, 18 years of age and above. And then, of course, a registered voter, a citizen of Uganda. These elections, these positions are for citizens. You must be a citizen of Uganda. And there is a minimum academic requirement. You must have obtained academic qualifications with the minimum being A-level, advanced level, or its equivalents. We guided on how academic documents should be verified and certified. And I hope that all aspirants have certified their documents, or for those who obtained academic qualifications from outside Uganda, you also got the certificates of clearances, and from the National Council for Higher Education, which is responsible for that. And then, of course, being supported by 10 registered voters from the constituency. That is a very key requirement. Some of the aspirants have already in advance brought their documents for verification. So some of the supporters' signatures. So there must be a seconder and a proposer, separate from the 10 supporters. We guided on payment of a non-refundable nomination fee of 3 million. You must have paid that and gone through the system to confirm. You must have proof of payment as we guided. That is the slip that shows that you paid. And for those who are presented by political parties, you must have been issued with that clearance from the authorized signatory, who is the Secretary General of the political party. So that is very, very important. We also guided on how the photo should be taken. You don't just take any photo, because now this is a photo we'll use on the ballot paper, so it must meet a standard. We guided on the photo. That's the complete file, plus the nomination form, which has areas that have to be where you swear and make declarations that have to be also commissioned by a commission of oath. So these are legal documents, and we guide on how they should be prepared. And we think that everyone living their home now to come to our center has that form and that file done in triplicate, because we make 3 copies of that. And if that is presented and scrutinized and verify and then confirm that every requirement has been met, we will declare that person nominated a candidate for parliamentary elections. Now, on our part, we've organized and prepared ourselves to do the verification and, of course, the declaration.
Right.
So our returning officers are stationed in every district and every city for that purpose. But we are also doing at the center here at the headquarters the nomination for special interest groups, representatives to Parliament, and that includes the workers. They have a national constituency. Their constituency is national, and so we will be nominating them from the center,
right.
The Electoral Commission head office here. Workers, older persons, persons with disabilities, and the youth. Those are going to be nominated from the center here at the Electoral Commission headquarters in Kampala, and our teams are set and ready for that purpose. Like the chairperson indicated, the 5th special interest group, which is represented in Parliament, which is the UPDF, the Commission will issue a program for the nomination of their candidates and their representatives to Parliament at a future date, because that activity is done using an electoral college, the Defense Council. It is constituted in accordance with the law differently from like the workers. So we are set. We have 2 days. Our teams are ready. They have the teams across the country. We have 146 districts, and they are all staffed. We have staff there who will be doing the job, but we also have a supporting center. We have a supporting team at the head office. In case there is any inquiry, legal, technical, we don't see this person's name. This is what they are claiming. There is a technical support system at head office to make sure that if any query comes in, we handle that.
Right. Thank you very much. If you're just joining the show, I'm speaking with Paul Bukenya, who is the Deputy Spokesperson at the Electoral Commission. And of course, because today is the nomination exercise for aspirants of members of Parliament going on, directly elected MPs in districts and cities, over 350 of them expected to be nominated. Women representatives in districts and cities, 146 representatives of older persons, 5 of them representatives of persons with disabilities, 5 of them workers representatives, 5 of them, and youth representatives, all expected to be nominated today and tomorrow. In fact, Paul, somebody was quite worried if the 2 days will be enough, for the numbers seem to be quite a lot.
Yeah, by law we appoint 2 days, and the 2 days will be enough for us. You know, there was also worry and concern of the presidential that will the 2 days be enough for us. We said that, yeah, we have appointed 2 days. Let's get started. I think what we need to do is to get started. But also it goes back to the readiness of the aspirants, because sometimes the delays come from the submissions that are made. Like I've mentioned a while ago, some aspirants actually made advanced submissions. So their supporters' signatures have been verified already. And these are 10 supporters. So this is something that our teams have been prepared to handle within the time. So we don't want to speculate over that, but it is also very Ugandan. When we're starting an exercise, they say, no, they've not given us enough time, even when we've not started. So we are getting started today. We have 2 days. Make sure you are there, and make sure that you are in line. Make sure you are there today, so that if you have an issue, it can be resolved and you get back tomorrow. And probably, you know, some people want to come in on the last day, and then they have problems, and then they fail to, you know, their bid fails, and then they say the Electoral Commission frustrated us. So we're also saying that please come in today. But also the districts have made, our district officers have made a good administrative arrangement. For example, I know that in some districts that are big, they say that today, between the first 3 hours, we are working on woman aspirants for woman member of Parliament. Now, that is a very good arrangement. So, if, for example, you have 7 aspirants, and you can work on them in those 3 hours, the better. It is well organized. You follow that schedule that the returning officer has made. Others have said aspirants from this constituency are using the first 4 hours. The first 4 hours are blocked for this constituency. Because I have, maybe someone has like 5 constituencies in their district, or 4 constituencies. They've tried to do the administrative arrangement. Either way, We have 2 days, and we will serve everyone who is ready and who presents themselves before us.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
0709602592. It's the WhatsApp number that you should engage. Good morning. I am Regan Higo, streaming live. I personally applaud the Electoral Commission for the legit guidelines of peace, for at least they have been partially organized than before. Though as per bruited schedules, I see the dates being too intact, and my query is, shall the stipulated time be enough for the candidates' campaigns? Thank you. Indeed, as Mr. Paul Bukenya has shared, that the law has given them a timeline that they must stick to. And speaking of timelines, are there any exceptions to the rules, just in case? Because the law has stipulated its timings as per how the EC should conduct the exercise. But are there exceptions to the rules?
I think the Commission is following that strict timeline which is in the law, and I'm glad that we used those numbers. The term, like we said, ends on the 12th of May. That sets everything, that determines everything. The end point is very important. So everything we do, we have to bear in mind that there's a constitutional date which we cannot touch, and that is the 12th of May. And that is why we do everything in the first 30 days according to the law. There are petitions, there could be, the law forced so many things and gave time to the Uganda electoral system. So we are working within that time. But then we also don't understand sometimes how our stakeholders look at time. Some say it is too short. Others say it is too long. And you say that is the time for campaigns, for example. Yes. Because we say parliamentary candidates are campaigning from the 10th of November up to the 13th of January. And some aspirants and some political parties are saying, but that's a very long time. It's more than 2 months. How would you expect me in my constituency to spend 2 months campaigning? I'm going to run dry completely. It is too much. And we give us the time that you use, like for by-elections. 3 weeks are enough for me to cover my constituency, which has only 7 sub-counties. At the same time, some other people are saying that the time is too short. We are new. People don't know us. We are going door to door. So I think what we look at then are not the views of people, but what does the law tell us? And what timelines should we work with? Yes. We are working with those timelines, and I think they are adequate. As and when there is something that emerges that requires the Commission to consider concerning time, we will look at our mandate and our powers and handle that. But as it is for now, that's the roadmap. But also, Julie, where we have been considerate and responsive, responding to concerns, stakeholder concerns, again, we've been condemned that why are you changing this? Why are you changing that? Is it for this one? Is it for... So you don't know whom to please by, by annoying the other, and whom to annoy by pleasing the other. Right. So what you do is to stick to the law, but also administratively, what is the best? What will help us deliver? Yes. We have to print ballot papers. We have to print ballot papers. So these people we are nominating, we have to print ballot papers. We have to proofread them. We have to prepare them. We have to pack them. We have to deliver them so that they are delivered on time. And so we need this time, and this time has been considered administratively. It's the time we need, and legally we are within the period that the law gives us. Right, indeed. The best person to please right now is the law. Yeah, sure, certainly. Yeah. If I certified my academic documents with UNEB in 2016, do I have to do another certification? This is Vincent Nyero, who's asking. We are receiving a new file from you. Everything is 2026. We don't reference all documents. The verifications. So whenever you're presenting yourself somewhere for anything, even if it is here, and I know we are in government institutions, we've been ever asked before to resubmit our documents and have them verified and certified, and yet we're already even employees. But that's just an example. But whenever by law, we are dealing with a new file, and we require you to assemble it and make sure it is up to date. Right. So you need to certify your documents. And by the way, when we issued the roadmap 2.5 years ago, we indicated the period within which documents should be certified, 2 months before nomination. So I am worried that the person asking that question probably may even be too late for the exercise that we are doing, because we indicated, and that roadmap has been preached and preached and preached and preached, that please do this, organize this 2.5 years ago.
Right.
So you need to prepare a file that is for this election. We can't say, we can't look at 2016. Otherwise, we would use the same argument and say, since you were a candidate in 2016, you continue to be a candidate. That's why there's a nomination exercise.
Right. Very interesting. And that makes a lot of sense. Now, the Electoral Commission announced that re-elections for local government representatives who passed away after being elected will be scheduled between the 27th and 28th of this month. Throw light on that.
Yeah, the commission yesterday and announced that unfortunately there are some candidates who are nominated successfully to represent political parties who have passed on. I think there are a few electoral areas for local government.
And this is for primaries?
No.
To make sense out of it, right?
No. We conducted the nomination of local government councils.
Yes,
we concluded it in the month of September. So we have local government candidates. And we are already organizing for them. We are preparing their ballot papers so that we get them started as well as their campaign period. But as we've been in the process, we've gotten reports of the passing of some nominated candidates representing political parties. A party has a right then to nominate, send in another person so that the party participates in the, and we give that opportunity in accordance with the law. So the electoral areas which are concerned, we've reached out to them and alerted the parties within those areas and which had represented candidates that they have an opportunity to have present another aspirant for nomination so that they remain in the race. It's in accordance with the law. Right. So other than that, the rest are being now prepared, and we're going into local government campaigns, and then like we mentioned at the beginning, we await the announcement of the polling date for local governments.
All right. Let's look at how EC is working hand in hand with security for these 2 days. What's the relationship and how is work supposed to flow? What are the boundaries of security in this case? What are the boundaries of those who are being nominated with their supporters, and what are the boundaries of the Electoral Commission as we begin to wrap this up?
Yeah, we are working with security, and that's Uganda Police, to make sure that the nomination process is smooth. But one of the first things, of course, is to notify police about the polling, or rather the nomination schedules. So police is aware. Our returning officers are working with the district security teams, because this is a public activity, event. It brings people assembling. People assemble for purposes of this activity. So notification of venues, this is our venue, and notification of the dates for the activity, and details like access, who accesses the venue, only the aspirants and their supporters, and then of course observers, whom we have also described, and the media, who must have valid ID cards. So we've shared with security details of the program, so that they also play their part. Like you know, our dear viewers, the law remains before, during, and after elections. So during nomination exercises, we don't dispense of traffic rules and say, now it is nominations. We don't respect traffic rules. We don't respect public assembly laws. Everything can go on, anything can do whatever they want. No, the law remains in place. And we have issued guidelines, which we've also shared with police, and we expect compliance. That's how we are working with security. That these are the guidelines. Anyone who does not follow those guidelines will have breached the law, and they should be called to order, so that the process is smooth. So, and that's our appeal to stakeholders, that don't come with processions to the venues. Right. Follow the numbers we've given you, and seek the police clearance, because police is available to give you that sticker for your car. so that you access the venues. And then after nomination, if you want to meet your candidates, your supporters, you must have notified security that we will meet at Labour grounds to launch a manifesto, so that they also provide security.
Right.
So the role of security remains, that is to keep law and order before, during, and after elections.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Now, one final one as we wrap it up. Thank you, UBC. My inquiry to Paul Bukenya is his spokesperson. I am Anyunu George from Serede, an independent candidate for office of directly elected councillor. Talking about ballot papers, in this office there are 5 candidates duly nominated. Who will appear first on the ballot paper?
We've not nominated any candidates so far. I think those are aspirants. We wish them success so that they succeed with their nomination bid. When we are organizing the ballot paper, one of the guidelines, the issues we issued in the guidelines was that mention how your names will be arranged. And make sure that you are consistent. For example, they have documents, academic and others. But also behind the photograph, we also, in our guidelines, because I couldn't go through all the guidelines, we mentioned that you should write the order of your names, okay? Without titles, Doctor, Captain, Major.
Story, so stay tuned. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, they don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends it to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, Welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The Parish Development Model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
The government's core mandate is to maintain law and order, safeguard citizens' rights, and provide essential public services.
Remember, one of the pillars of the roadmap is innovation and entrepreneurship.
There has been this question of how are you protecting our indigenous seed?
There's going to be a tall project that answers somebody's question.
The front bench has brought you insightful discussions on governance, security, healthcare, justice, and commerce.
Why do you go through this complicated procedure, involve the lawyers? You bring the case against him, the judge will hear you out and pass judgment, and you're out of court in record time.
We remain committed to keeping you informed and engaged on key national matters.
So these are huge, these are powerful organizations which now Uganda chairs. Why don't you come together?
if we haven't migrated to the e-card because of various reasons, including that not all the people of Uganda have smartphones.
You can sit in your house, apply for a passport.
If you have a Ugandan who has a successful logistics firm in the US, it means he can come to Uganda and do a lot more.
Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. with me, Jethro Kasaiji, your interface with the government only on your public broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvest in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Broadcaster, UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, Inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found global paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use global paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with global paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then global matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for global weather coat emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product. Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*221# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First,
Uganda polls 2026. This is UBC TV that you are watching, and we come to you live from Nile Avenue as we bring you a live coverage very soon. But of course, the conversation on the nominations of members of parliament aspirants for the different constituencies in Uganda come 2026. So we just came from a conversation with the Electoral Commission, and we're looking forward to one with Honorable Mike Sevalu. A lot of perspective in there, but as we look forward to one, of course, I am with Robert Kirabo Nyonyitono. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and engage as well, be a part of the conversation. Share your name as well when you share your opinion. 0709-602-592. Very soon, we'll be joining Michael Jordan Lukomwa in just a few, but as we try to get in touch with him, of course, the conversation does continue. Looking at some at the numbers, indeed, just a reminder, over 350 directly elected members in districts and cities looking forward to being nominated. Women representatives in districts and cities, 146. Representatives of older persons, 5. Representatives of persons with disabilities, 5. And workers representatives, 5 of them, as well as youth representatives, 5 of them. And as for the UPDF representatives to Parliament, it will be conducted later as communicated by the Electoral Commission. Good morning, Uganda. Indeed, excited for this time in our country. What a time to be alive, to see all the events take shape. Robert, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm just thinking and figuring it out if this will be as peaceful as we had the presidential nominations.
So far, the nominations, yes, they were, yes, peaceful, I would say. Campaigns, so far, indeed, it's easy to even forget that there are campaigns quite different from what has been transpiring in the past elections.
Many prophets of doom were saying what we are seeing now when we had the NRM primaries.
Right.
Many came out and made speculations, negative speculations, that if we've seen this, what will happen in the campaigns, this is evidence of what is going to happen. But I want to first of all thank all the presidential candidates for having done their best to ensure there is peace. I saw what transpired in Kakumiro yesterday, but you would hear the new principal and candidate telling the people, don't attack them. Be peaceful. Wave the Uganda flag. You see, he did all it took
Right.
Not to incite violence, but rather call for peace. But also police. You know, also I usually say you have a sense of judgment away from